And welcome back. This is the Green in Comber, and we're just about to get underway with match 2. And what a game we have in prospect, starting very shortly. It's the title decider. Leinster Lightning going for their 7th crown against the Warriors, who've won it once, and that was back in 2014. Defending champions against the potential champions. Warriors blew the chance yesterday of winning the trophy for only the second time when they lost to the Munster Reds. So this is their chance today against the defending champions, the Leinster Lightning. It's all set up. We've had one match already reduced to 10 overs in which the Knights have beaten the Munster Reds, but it was a consolation match really between those two. The Northwest Warriors against the Leinster Lightning. 2 points separate these two sides at the top of the table, and it's a winner-take-all game here. So let's see who's going to bat and who's going to bowl as we go about to the side of the pitch to the toss and join Isabel Joyce.
Welcome to the side of the pitch for the final toss of the season in the IP20 series this festival weekend in Comber, and that's what they're playing for, the IP20 trophy. And it comes down to this last match between the Leinster Lightning and the Northwest Warriors. I'm joined at the toss by match referee Phil Thompson, and the captains of both teams. Northwest Warriors is Andy McBride and Leinster Lightning George Dockrell. Phil will toss the coin and Andy will call.
Heads the call, and heads it is.
Andy, if you can have a quick chat. You won a toss. I'm told that it's not too often that happens, so first win of the day.
Yeah, thank God, not having to beat George, I must say now. He's got a pretty good record against me with the tosses.
You've won the toss. What have you decided to do and why?
Both, because we think it's quite a hard ground to defend in, as we've seen yesterday. I don't think the wicket's going to change much over the course of the 40 overs.
What kind of total do you think you're going to try and keep them to?
Hopefully as little as possible. But obviously if you do get off to a good start, you got to keep digging in there. Obviously T20 the cricket changes very quickly, so you're never really out of the game.
You did get a game in yesterday against the Munster Reds. I know that you didn't come out on top in that fixture, but do you feel like maybe you've the edge over Leinster? It'll be their first game of the weekend?
No, it's quite a tricky one because everyone's been playing cricket, so. But no, we knew ourselves yesterday. We were way off the ball yesterday, and we had a good talk last night after the game, so hopefully today we can put things right.
And finally, a first chance at this trophy since 2014. What would it mean to Northwest Cricket to come away with a win?
Yeah, it would mean a lot. Like lads have put in a lot of hard work over the course of the summer and obviously the winter as well. So obviously it's nice, but if you want a trophy at the end of the season, your rewards pay off. Okay,
well, best of luck. George, if you'd won the toss, what do you think you would have done?
Yeah, look, we were talking about probably doing the same. We know this ground is sometimes quite tough to defend on, but at the same time the wicket probably won't change too much, so if we can put runs on the board, bowl pretty well, I think 2 or 3 tied overs within that time will make it very hard to chase a good score. So I think, yeah, just depends how we go the first 10 overs here.
You must have been watching with great interest yesterday when the Munster Reds did you a bit of a favour.
Definitely, it was great to see some good cricket, and great to see guys Delaney back for doing some good ball striking as well, and obviously keeps things alive, and I think it's what you want from these competitions going into the very last game with it all to play for, and winner takes all, so you can't ask for much more than that.
You're batting first. What kind of total can we expect you to try and get to?
Again, I wouldn't want to put a number on it. The guys will try and be positive and read it as we go. There's sometimes you come under par, but then you can defend it with the ball. So again, we'll be doing our best here for 40 overs and obviously trying to win the trophy. So.
Finally, just a word about the strength of the competition. It's coming down to the last match after 3 festival weekends. It must be good for you guys playing the national team that the standard has gone up so much.
Definitely, and I think, as you say, all the teams that have competed in it, it's hard to say, who you'd want to be coming up against game by game. Every single game that teams can take the win as well, and that's exactly what you want from this comp. So, yeah, it's great.
And news about your team? Anything we need to know?
Tom Stanton and Mikey O'Reilly miss out, so yeah, hard luck to those.
So Theo Lawson coming in.
So yeah, Theo Lawson comes in. He's had a really, really great summer, and it's great to see him being rewarded with that, and hopefully he can do some more of the same out there today.
Okay, well, best of luck, George. Thanks for that.
Cheers,
that's the news from the toss. The Northwest Warriors have won it and they're going to bowl.
Thanks, Isabel. So the Lightning will be batting first, and that's the way we stand at the stage where we've just got the one match left in the series, and Northern Knights get a bonus point for their victory over the Munster Reds by 9 wickets in a shortened match to open up proceedings today, but they can't win the trophy because whoever wins this game will pick up 4 points. If it's Leinster, they'll go to 22, and Northwest Warriors will go to 24 if they win. So it's a winner take all with Warriors and Lightning. Warriors winning the toss, as you heard there, and deciding to bowl. So Leinster Lightning will bat first in this 20 over game, and it's only the third match we've actually got through here. With the second match yesterday, Munster Reds beat the Warriors, and that denied them the chance to win the title yesterday, and that sets up things nicely for today. As I mentioned, the Northern Knights and Munster Reds, consolation game really, reduced to 10 overs because of a delayed start here this morning. Knights winning that by 9 wickets to top the table momentarily. But Isabel Joyce, this is nicely set up, isn't it? Leinster Lightning against the Northwest Warriors, and it's winner take all.
Yeah, it's a really exciting finish. It's always good in festivals like this when there's meaning to the final match. It's everyone watching right until the end. The Northwest Warriors make their way out. They'll want to improve on their performance yesterday. You heard Andy McBride at the toss saying they just weren't good enough. They knew they weren't yesterday. Munster Reds plundered a win, a bonus point win, in fact, and it's in their hands, Northwest Warriors. They top the table right now, but Leinster Lightning, they know how to win trophies. They've won an incredible number since the inception of this Interpro series back in 2013, and they've plenty of experience coming out into the middle now as well, opening the batting. Jack Tector and that man Kevin O'Brien, who can really take a game away from you. Jack Tector probably short of runs this season, but can be a destructive batsman and a good foil for Kevin O'Brien.
No Andy Balbirnie here, he's not here this weekend, or Barry McCarthy in the Leinster Lightning lineup. So Tector will open the batting with Kevin O'Brien. They've gone with George Dockrell, Jamie Grassie, David O'Halloran, Kevin O'Brien, Jack Tector, Lorcan Tucker, JJ Garth, Josh Little, Rory Anders, Theo Lawson and Gavin Hoey. Missing out Simi Singh, Tom Staunton and Mike O'Reilly. For the Northwest Warriors, well, they're unchanged from that team that lost to the Munster Reds yesterday, with McBride, Stephen Donaghy, Graham Kennedy, William Porterfield, Graham Hume, Ross Allen, Shane Getket, William McClintock, Conor Alford, Jared Wilson and Ryan Macbeth. Robbie Miller and Trent McKeegan, the 21-year-old, miss out. So here we go. This is the title decider. It is the Warriors against the Lightning. The title is on the line.
Graham Hume will open the bowling from the Mount Alexander end. Kevin O'Brien on strike. One slip, and Kevin O'Brien spotted something wrong with his bat.
Now that's a good start. Maybe you should have checked that before he walked out to the middle. Our two umpires today, by the way, who saw them in the first match, Aidan Sievers and Rowley Black.
David O'Halloran runs out with a number of blades. Kevin O'Brien will have to change his bat. Not sure what was wrong with that one. Perhaps it's not the one he wants to use in a ground like this.
And he's made his choice. And then we can finally get proceedings underway.
What you don't want as Kevin O'Brien now is a poor start after changing your bat, but nothing seems to faze him.
3 overs, 2 for 30 yesterday in the defeat to the Munster Reds from Graham Hume. And he's about to get proceedings finally underway. Final match of the domestic season, the IP20 trophy on the line.
It was clipped into the leg side, a bit too full from Hume. And Kevin O'Brien's still having a look at his new bat. Might have to be sending away to the sponsors for a few new ones. Graham Hume was uncharacteristically expensive yesterday. Came back well in his second spell, but we're used to seeing him be very miserly. Changing the field for Tector. This is a good field for him. Likes to play through backward point and gully, so they've put a catcher in there, William Porterfield, and then kind of a fly slip and a deep point. So I really know they're the batting of Jack Tector.
And immediately down to backward point and coming back for the second here. That's good running.
Really good running from Jack Tector. Ross Allen in the deep used the cut-off throw to William Porterfield, so it's probably 2 all day.
I think Kevin O'Brien was expecting to be called through for the second one there, but Tector was perfectly entitled to do it. He was running to the danger end. Cries of catch it. One bounced out down to the fielder, Ross Allen.
Played that over the offside. Jack Tector.
Kevin O'Brien. Been there, done this. Given up the 50 over version of the game to concentrate fully on the T20, and stifled appeal from Hume, but not out.
Yeah, just looking to work that into the leg side. Kevin O'Brien moves the ball away, Graham Hume, so it's a bit of a risky shot. There is a big gap in the leg side, perhaps to try and get him to play just that shot. William Porterfield waiting in slip for any chances that come his way. Good to see Kevin O'Brien back in the runs in the recent T20 series against Zimbabwe. He's struggled so far this year. Almost a chance, but just drops short of Shane Getgate in cover, and that'll be the first boundary of the day. Gets Kevin O'Brien up to 5.
Yeah. Lucky. Just landed short of Getgate. Couldn't stop it going to the boundary. Dived forward in an effort to take the catch. As a result, missed the ball altogether, and it flew away to the boundary.
Kind of got caught in between. He couldn't decide quickly enough whether he should go for the catch and went a little bit late.
Cry of wait on, and it's the good call too. That ends the over, and a good one, a good start for the defending champions. 8 without loss. We'll be keeping an eye on another important game from Ireland's perspective. The Ireland under-19s are in action in the ICC under-19 World Cup qualifier in Almere. They're playing Netherlands in their opening match. Netherlands made 179 for 8 off their allotted 50 overs. Ireland in reply currently are 88 for 3 off 21, nearly 22 overs there. So not in a bad position, but 3 wickets down. 88 for 3. Chasing victory in that opening match for them in the under-19 World Cup qualifiers. But here, it's Conor Alford.
Full ball to start. Tector just had a bit of a luck afterwards, but no real demons in this pitch. It's played really well. All the batters have said it's a good deck. It's probably going to just get better throughout the day as well, the longer we have a bit of sun on it. There's a breeze coming across the ground as well, so conditions just improving as the day goes on.
That's great. We've got a few spectators in. Who's and ahs out there as well. Head and hands time. A few spectators in, most of them down in front of the pavilion, enjoying the Sunday afternoon fare. A few dotted around the ground as well. Nice afternoon. A little cooler than it was yesterday. We had a very good evening yesterday in terms of the weather. And that match we saw yesterday when the Munster Reds beat the Warriors. It's a little cooler today, but the pitches, as you say, held up well. We had a delay this morning for 2 hours for the first match, and we got a 10 over match. But now this is down to the nitty gritty. This is down to the title decider. Just dug that out well. Yorker length. Jack Tector. Good start from Alford. 3 dot balls in his first over.
A good shape there. Just see it moving away from the right-hander. Gets it really full. Gives the ball a chance to swing. And go fielding off his own bowling as well. And the key for Jack Tector when you're bowling to him is not to give him any width in the air, but it's going to fall safe. He's hit it into the vacant area in front of square leg. Another 2, this time called through by Kevin O'Brien. So Jack Tector is on the attack. Didn't get all of it, but good placement by him.
Yeah, when his brother Tim is captaining, like Jack did in the previous in previous incarnations of his career, the under-19s. His brother Tim is captaining the under-19s today against the Dutch.
There's the wisp, but pace taken off, so Jack Tector not able to pierce the infield. Good work by Ross Allen in cover. Northwest Warriors will be very keen to take the wicket of Kevin O'Brien as early as possible. He is someone, once he gets in, he can really make you pay. One of the cleanest strikers of the ball around. You'd be worried about your car if he stays in too long. John?
My car is parked miles away. Just to be sure.
Look at that timing. Flies off the bat. In fact, hits it so well that it's only one. Good work from Shane Getgate in the deep. And I got over from Alfred to start. Just the 4 from it. That's 2 overs gone. And Lightning are 12 without loss. So change in the field for Graham Hume's second over. They're going to put cover out and bring third man inside the ring. The other fielder out is square leg.
Sign of a good batsman and a batsman in form. Kevin O'Brien back amongst the runs. That just ease into the leg side as easy as you like. Watch the bat onto the ball, just ease it round the corner and walk through for the single.
He's got a clear game plan. If he gets it outside off, he's going to try and blast it through the covers. Anything straight, he's just going to clip into the leg side and get down the other end. Jack Tector. It's a good line and a very good length to him. He's going to be forced to probably play across the line because they're going to bowl very straight to him. They know what his strength is. It's anything outside off will probably go the distance.
Graham Hume currently bowling. Another from South Africa, from Johannesburg. In fact, was in the South African squad for the Under-19 World Cup back in 2010. And bowled him. I was just about to say he was the leading wicket taker with 13 wickets for that Under-19 squad, and now he's got rid of Tector with the off stump leaning back at a crazy angle, and he falls. Well bowled, Graham Hume.
Yeah, top of off. This one just nips back a little bit. Just got caught in the crease. Jack Tector, nothing shot. And disappointment for him. He goes for 6. Lightning are 13 for 1.
New batsman, Theo Lawson from Pembroke. Good club form with Pembroke has earned him a place 8 years after his last of his 3 appearances. One of the 5 Pembroke players in the extended 14-man squad today for the Lightning, along with Lorcan Tucker, Gavin Hoey, Josh Little and JJ Garth.
Yeah, he's been in incredible form, Theo Lawson. Not just this season, but over a very long period of time. Very difficult for Pembroke, the number of internationals they have in their team, but they still manage to get to finals day year after year. Just keep producing talented players both on the men's and the women's side. Prodigious sweeper of the ball. He'll be looking forward to the spin coming on, but for now he's going to have to face up to Graham Hume. Doesn't really suit his game, but he will sweep seamers as well. It's just whether or not he thinks you're too quick for him. The fine leg goes back and square leg. No surprise there. Ringfield on the offside. Just feeling for that first run, Theo Lawson. Very keen to get forward and try and just get down the other end. First time in such a long time playing for Leinster Lightning, so he'll feel the pressure to put on a performance, try and get his name in the hat for next year.
Well, usually this stage it would be Andy Barberni to come to the crease, but he's not here. Himself and Barry McCarthy rested. I know McCarthy had a bit of a twinge, which kept him out of the third and final match against Zimbabwe. Nicely placed. It's going to go all the way to the boundary, I think. Yeah, despite the sliding dive to attempt it to stop it crossing the ropes. It's nicely placed, nicely timed, and a nice way to get off the mark.
Yeah, beautiful placement from Theo Lawson, and just uses the pace well. Outfield just quickening up now this afternoon. Some of the Munster Reds players watching on. Good to see Northern Knights and the Munster Reds staying on to have a look at the final game of the season.
That ball just seemed to pick up pace as it was heading towards the boundary. Alford couldn't cut it out. Big appeal. Well, they seem pretty convinced. Bowler and behind the stumps as well, but Aidan Seaver says that's a leg by.
He took a big lunging step across his stumps here, Theo Lawson, so you wonder, did he catch it outside off? I think that's hit him in line, but obviously enough doubt from Aidan Seaver. So it's 3 overs gone. Leinster Lightning 18 for 1.
The two batsmen. The opener has gone, of course, Jack Tector, but Kevin O'Brien and Theo Lawson getting together in between the overs just to keep each other concentrated on the job on hand. I think we're going to be change of bowling, are we? For the Warriors. It'll be Ryan Macbeth. He's going to come on from the pavilion end. Made his T20 debut in June of this year for the Warriors. Former Irish under 15 international Ryan Macbeth.
Yeah, slingy action. About 2 overs in the game yesterday. No wickets for him, 22 runs. So he'll want to improve on that performance. A too dangerous batsman to be bowling at, and still inside the power play. Wide to start.
Yeah, power play 6 overs.
Well, the field that's out there right now, there's square leg and fine leg on the boundary, and that just gives you an indication of the strength of Theo Lawson's sweep shot. Ryan Macbeth bowling wide outside off, but still has protection on the leg side. It's a really good single. Really well run from Lawson. Judged it perfectly.
Just eluded the slide of Andy McBride, but I think even if McBride had collected that cleanly, I think Lawson was safely home. Just took off immediately. Good running, good batting.
Yeah, sometimes with the ring field on the offside, everyone's hanging back on the ring a little bit too much, trying to stop the ball from going through, and actually can sometimes mean it's easier to get the single. Change the field for O'Brien. Cover goes out, fine leg in.
Immediately the cry is 2. And that'll be easy. Nicely placed. Shane Geket doing the sweeping down there, but it was 2 from the moment the ball left the bat, and O'Brien knew that, and that was the immediate call.
Yeah, good placement, accurate of square, and this is good batting from Kevin O'Brien. He knows there's no rush. Somewhere where once you get going you can score heavily, so he wants to take this game deep. He wants to bat through. Better length and line from Macbeth, just hitting the top of the bat a bit hard. Kevin O'Brien just does not seem happy with that bat.
No, he
keeps
doesn't.
on checking it out.
I was just about to say that. He's just off camera there. You wouldn't have seen it, but we saw it on the pitch there. Nearly every delivery the ball hits the pad, or the bat I should say, he keeps looking at the bottom of it. And that's a change bat now as well, of course, because the first one he didn't like even before play started, and now he's continuously looking at the bottom of the bat for some reason.
Yeah, it doesn't sound right, does it? Doesn't sound It doesn't sound like it normally does when it hits the bat of Kevin O'Brien. Might just be a little bit of a crack that he's trying to find.
Yeah, I don't know. You didn't know more than I would. I thought that sounded all right, but obviously not. We'll find out in a second if he smacks a big one, and of course he's quite capable of doing that.
Just getting caught in his plan here, Kevin O'Brien. They've taken a slip and put in a mid-wicket. This is not as easy to get his single into the leg side.
What is he just trying to convince himself that there is something wrong with the bat? Just keeps continuously looking at it all the time, in between deliveries.
This has been a really good over from Ryan Macbeth. 3 dots in a row now, just the 4 from it with 1 to come. Well, that one sounded better, but it's straight to the fielder, so that's the end of the 4th over, and Leinster Lightning are 22 for 1.
Yeah, good over that from Alford, considering the first ball was a wide. Graham Hume 2 overs, 1 for 13, and Macbeth 1 over for the concession of 4 runs. This is a good start by the Warriors, just tying down the Leinster Lightning at the opening of their innings. Just 22 now from 4, and already they've lost Jack Tector, so it's a good start by the Warriors. As you mentioned, you were talking to Andy McBride at the toss, and he wasn't happy with his team's performance yesterday. They looked very flat yesterday. There was mistakes in the field as well. They look a lot sharper today, I think.
Sometimes it can happen when there's 2 bites of the cherry. The first game yesterday, maybe they thought they just had to turn up, but Munster Reds had a few players back, and Gareth Delaney is such a difficult batsman to bowl to, and then Matt Ford was imperious. He was so impressive in that innings. And we're going to see Conor Alford change ends. It's coming from the Mount Alexander end.
It's a good battle, this. Warriors are keen, obviously, to get themselves over the line and win the trophy for only the 2nd time. First one in 2014 against the 6-time winners and defending champions. Good call through from Kevin O'Brien. Spotted there was a run there immediately. Also not to 6 now. O'Brien facing. Sun has just disappeared behind the clouds momentarily. Hopefully that won't be the case now for the rest of the afternoon. No rain is expected until later tonight here in Comber.
Missed out, Kevin O'Brien. That was leg side-ish. You wanted to just flick that over the fielder's head in short fine leg. It's William McClintock, but took his pad instead. So just a leg bite.
Well, that's out. And it's an ungainly way to get out too. Theo Lawson lost his footing, fell over, plumb in front, and Aidan Seaver's death finger, and Lightning lose their 2nd.
He went to his favourite shot, the sweep shot. Didn't make contact, probably too quick to sweep. I think he might have thought he got outside the line, but he's been given out. Theo Lawson gone for 6. Lightning 24 for 2.
Which brings to the crease the Lightning captain, George Dockrell. Lost his Irish contract, worked on his batting, got it back again, and has now been pushed up the order in the Irish international side as well. All-rounder now, but more noted now for his batting. George Dockrell comes in with his team, and just a little bit of trouble here. Lost their second wicket. Runs aren't coming off the bat freely. 24 for 2. Well, these are two very experienced players now at the crease, and they're just going to have to build this innings now from a low enough base. 24 for 2. That's in the air, and that could be out first ball. Yes! And Alfred's on a hat-trick. Well. Now they're in a pickle. Dockrell goes first ball.
This is a really poor shot from George Dockrell. Not a good option. Gets the bouncer first up. Looks to swat it back down the ground, but the catch has taken an easy one in the end. Dockrell goes for a duck. Leinster Lightning 24 for 3.
And that brings in Lorcan Tucker. He'll have to survive a hat-trick ball.
I don't know if you could hear in the background, but Northwest Warriors coach Gary Wilson was beside us in the tent here, and he shouted with glee at the wicket of George Dockrell. He knows how important that is. George Dockrell so often plays a winning hand for the Leinster Lightning, has done it consistently this season and over the years. So it's a huge wicket. And the Northwest Warriors are really up and about now.
Conor Alford. That score is wrong. It's 24 for 3. And Alford's on a hat-trick. Theo Lawson gone LBW. George Dockrell caught off the previous delivery. And he survives. And oohs and ahs and applause as he ends that over. And a very good one too. 2 from it in terms of the wickets. And it's 24 for 3 now.
With solid forward defence to close out the 5th over. Not one you see too often in T20 cricket, but he didn't want to give Conor Alford a hat-trick. Ryan Macbeth bowled a really good over first up. Bowled the previous over from this end. Just went for 4 and bowled a number of dots at Kevin O'Brien. He's had a look at him now though, O'Brien, so we may see him attack this final over of the power play. Does know, however, that his team are already 3 wickets down, so important that they don't lose another one.
No, a lot riding on this pair. Alright. O'Brien's going to have to hold this innings together for the next couple of overs. Keep the scoreboard ticking over. 25 for 3. After 5, that's the last of the power play overs. Tucker yet to get off the mark.
He was so good, wasn't he, against Zimbabwe in that ODI series with the bat, particularly in the second match. Went on the attack at the back end, ran really well. Hits into odd areas of the game, likes to give himself room and hit over the offside, but also good at any of the kind of ramps or sweeps or lifts over the fielders behind the wicketkeeper. And they're going to try and keep him in the crease by Stephen Doheny, the wicketkeeper, standing up to the stumps. He's got the helmet on.
Brave thing to do. Oh, and they've lost another one. Tucker's gone. I think he played on. And 4 down. And the Lightning are crashing.
Just looks to ease this one down to third man, takes the bottom of the bat and hits it onto his own stumps. Lorcan Tucker, another duck for Leinster Lightning. He goes for 0 and Leinster Lightning reeling, 25 for 4.
Well, the new batsman, Jamie Grassy. You don't need me to tell you that they're in trouble. You can see it for yourself on the scoreboard and the score on the left-hand side of your screen. 5.2 overs, 4 already out. Tector, Lawson, Dockrell, and now Tucker. Kevin O'Brien is still there on 10. Jamie Grassy, the new batsman, in. He doesn't have a number on his back. A couple of these Leinster Lightning players don't have numbers on their backs. But Grassy from Phoenix. Actually played for the Munster Reds at one time. And he comes in with his team at a moment of real crisis. The winner-take-all final match of the IP20 series with the title on the line, and the Warriors are cock-a-hoop.
Just running in with a little bit more purpose, Ryan Macbeth. He struggled yesterday a little bit, but he's been good today. It's a massive wicket. Lorcan Tucker can be so destructive, and there's a lot of pressure here on Jamie Grassy. Plays that one down to third man for a single. Off the mark. Jamie Grassy moves to 1.
We know how things can change, Isabel, in T20 cricket. And one decent over and they can get their innings going, but they have no momentum so far. They're just losing wickets apace. Alford took 2 in 1 over as well. They've taken 3 in the last 2. Tries to catch it, but they won't stop that. 1 bounce 4. Great shot from Kevin O'Brien. That just loosens the shackles a little bit for him. Looking to free the arms. Got plenty of the ball in the off stump and just thumped it for 4.
Yeah, beautiful shot from O'Brien. Lifts this one over. Doesn't try and overhit it. He knows if he hits it well, he'll beat that fielder at mid-off pretty easily. It just looks like he's had enough now. He's had enough of knocking the ball around and of wickets falling around him. He's going to take the bull by the horns and take this game on.
No better man to take an attack apart than Kevin O'Brien. He'll keep the strike as well, and that's good from the Lightning's point of view to end that over. 6 down, 31 for 4. It's a pretty sorry looking card, isn't it? Only Kevin O'Brien in double figures. Tector gone for 6. Lawson likewise. Dockrell and Tucker gone without making a run. Grassy just new to the crease.
Yeah, 31 for 4 at the end of the power play. It's not the score they'll be worried about, it's the runs. The wickets that have gone. 4 wickets down in the power play. You rarely win a cricket match when you lose that many wickets.
Sure. I just wanted to point out there on that scorecard, it had Simi Singh is coming in next. Simi Singh is not actually in the Leinster starting 11, the list we have. He's not in it. Singh missing out along with Tom Staunton and Mikey O'Reilly as the 3 players left out of their 14-man squad. So it's Grassy and Kevin O'Brien trying to get their team to some kind of competitive total here. A lot riding on the shoulders of Kevin O'Brien, but as I said, no better man to lead the charge.
Shane Getgate's going to come into the attack from the Mount Alexander end. Chance, but it's gone over the head of the fielder in the deep. Just shuffled leg side, Kevin O'Brien. Getgate followed him, and it's the first maximum of the day.
Yeah. The room he gave himself on the leg side, just stepped away from the stumps and swatted it away for 6.
I would have done better to bowl that one outside off Shane Getgate. This can be tough. I should think at the last second what you're going to do. The field is spread now because we're outside of the power play. 5 fielders outside the ring. Cover, long off, long on, and then 2 in the leg side. Square leg and mid-wicket. No one saving the one in mid-wicket. Again goes leg side. This time Getgate goes wide outside off, but too wide. A good battle going on between these two. Kevin O'Brien on top at the moment, though.
He's such a destructive batsman, isn't he, Kevin O'Brien? He can take the game away from you single-handedly. Grassy can spend a lot of time just leaning on his bat, watching Kevin O'Brien at the other end. Leinster Lightning need him to stay there, though. So bowled, but just nicely eased into the leg side. Yorker length takes an easy single.
Yeah, good comeback from Shane Getgate. Kevin O'Brien's a good example of someone who has a really good plan. He knows where he wants you to bowl, and if you don't bowl where he wants it, then he'll have the option to just get down the other end rather than just going after every single ball.
Well, from Irish International's point of view, Isabel, it's good to see Kevin amongst the runs again. You mentioned it earlier on. Had a good series against the Zimbabweans, where he got some runs, and with the World Cup, T20 World Cup coming up. Another attempt at Yorker length, just squeezed out by Grassy, but just to go back to that point again, Kevin O'Brien amongst the runs is good for Irish cricket.
Yeah, it's really good, and the cricket's a very tough game. If you find yourself out of form, not making runs, it can be really difficult to get back into it. You can be hitting them as well as you want in training. It's very different out in the middle, but he ground out that first innings against Zimbabwe and then started to look back to his normal self. He thought that was a wide that time, Kevin O'Brien. He's not happy with umpire Aidan Seaver. He's unmoved. I think he's got reason to be aggrieved, if we're honest, but he moved leg side and Getgate decided to keep it away from him.
Eyes lit up there, Kevin O'Brien. Good length, though, from that delivery.
Big ball this for Getgate. He needs to get out of this over. It's currently gone for 9. And he does get out of it. A bit of a change up, and O'Brien threw the shot too early. So 9 runs from that one. 7 overs gone. The Leinster Lightning 40 for 4.
Another update from that under-19 match, Ireland against the Netherlands in the under-19 World Cup qualifier in Almere. 179 for 8 Netherlands, so 180 for victory for Ireland, and it's not going great for them. Tim Tector's still there on 23. They're 101 for 6 now, but they've lost wickets in the last couple of overs pretty cheaply. 101 for 6 after 31 overs, chasing 180 for victory with just 4 wickets in hand against the Dutch. We'll keep an eye on that one, but obviously this one is our main focus today. It's the Leinster Lightning against the Northwest Warriors, the title decider in the IP20 series, and Lightning lost the toss and were asked to bat, and so far so good for the Warriors. They're 40 for 4, but Kevin O'Brien is in, looks like he wants to open up at the other end. He's got Grassy with him. It's nicely done by Grassy. Just lays bat on ball, eases it into the leg side, and they run through for an easy single.
Ryan Macbeth on his 3rd over. He's been good so far. Went for 11 in his first 2 overs. Took the wicket of Lorcan Tucker. Jamie Grassy looked like he wanted to come back for a second, but Kevin O'Brien's given up on running 2s. I think he's going to go on the attack. He's had a really good look at Macbeth now, so the worry for Northwest Warriors is that O'Brien will have come up with a plan. They're going to change the field. Long off goes back. There's a long on. 3rd man comes up inside the ring. Both fielders out on the leg side and a man out in the boundary and cover.
Well, you can see the intent from Kevin O'Brien, can't you? He's moving all around his crease, stepping away.
Well, he's doing that for 2 reasons. He's trying to get the bowler to either follow him And if he gets the length he wants, he's going to hit it for 6 over mid-wicket. And if he gets length outside off, he's going to try and lift it over extra cover, a favoured shot of his.
I think Andy McBride, centre your shot there. The Warriors captain will be happy what he's seen so far from his team. We alluded to it earlier, wasn't happy with the team's performance yesterday. In fact, his own bowling performance wasn't great either. They were very flat against the Reds. But now they know that the title's on the line. There seems to be much more of a determined effort out there from the Warriors, and they've started really well here. 42 for 4. If they can get rid of the dangerous O'Brien, they'll be right in it.
Calls to push it from Kevin O'Brien, but he's hit that too well. Jamie Grassi. And they're going to run on the overthrow. That's really quick thinking from Kevin O'Brien. It's not really an overthrow, I guess, when it hits the stumps, but run on the ricochet, I should have said.
Yeah, that's a good thing, though. Be aware of it. Run the first one as fast as you possibly can. Options can happen, and that's exactly what happened there. They picked up the extra run when they weren't expecting it as the ball deflected off the stumps.
Yeah, they forced the fielder to throw as well, which was the key there. Just sneaking every extra run that they can. This is a real bonus spell, this, from the Northwest Warriors. Ryan Macbeth, he's already into his 3rd over. They have Andy McBride and Graham Kennedy to come, to their premier bowlers. So every over they can get out of Macbeth is a bonus for them. Also have overs left from Conor Alford and Graham Hume. A wild swing that from Jamie Grassi. A really good over again from Ryan Macbeth, just 4 from it. 8 overs gone. Leinster Lightning 44 for 4.
Also, another game which HBV Studios are involved in is that 3rd and deciding T20 International in Edinburgh, Scotland against Zimbabwe. It's up on the YouTube channel. You can find that. Cricket Scotland on the Twitter page. You'll be able to find that there if you want to watch some of that, as well as this game here. Scotland made 177 for 4 in their 20 overs. So Zimbabwe chasing 178 for victory there. Here, 44 for 4 off 8 overs. Kevin O'Brien on 23, Grassi on 5. The Warriors are on top on this in this game, and if they can get rid of the dangerous Irish international Kevin O'Brien, well, they certainly would be favourites to go on and win not just this game but the title itself. So a lot riding on the shoulders of this pair, and especially Kevin O'Brien. And they've gone to spin.
Graham Kennedy into the attack. Left arm spinner. He'll have to be very careful with the length that he bowls to Kevin O'Brien. It's just a little chip for him to hit Kennedy back over his head for 6. And strays down leg side. Kevin O'Brien just looking to the skies. He's frustrated with himself. It's not been a free-flowing innings for him. He's just trying to take a minute to gather himself.
Yeah, Kennedy saw him stepping away from the stumps, tried to follow him, and O'Brien knew he missed out there. That's a good comeback, though, from Kennedy. Squeezing the life out of this Leinster Lightning innings at the moment. Ooh, gone. Straight to Andy McBride. Kevin O'Brien cannot believe it. He just chipped it straight to the Warriors captain, and that's the big wicket gone. Kevin O'Brien has to depart. He can't believe he's out. Just chipped it straight to O'Brien, down on his knees. Picked it up. Good fielder, Andy McBride. And that's the 5th wicket down with a score on 45. And out goes the big wicket, Kevin O'Brien.
Yeah, just took his arms away from him there. Graham Kennedy angled it into Kevin O'Brien. He goes for 23. Leinster Lightning 45 for 5.
New batsman in, JJ Garth, 20-year-old with spinner. A regular fixture in the Ireland Wolves or the A team. Part of the squad that went to England for the ODI series last year. Didn't feature. And he comes in with his team in a real trouble here. 45 for 5. Big wicket, Kevin O'Brien. Back in the hutch, as they'd say, for 23. It's a very sorry card for the Lightning. With the title on the line, the Warriors are now well on top.
First bit of air we've seen from Kennedy to the new batsman JJ Garth. Not really bowling at the moment, so kind of turning more into a batsman, Lightning in the field. But it's a huge mountain for him to climb, not a position that he'd be used to finding himself in. So a lot of pressure now on the shoulders of Jamie Grassi.
Well, it's a case of Grassi and Garth just trying to stay there as long as they possibly can. There's only 5 wickets to go and still plenty of overs. That's well bowled.
He just hangs back a little bit too much, Jamie Grassi, for me. Gets himself into a bit of trouble. Gets his bat down just in time there. But yeah, you're right. They need to take this game deep. And again, looks to play in the back foot when really he should be coming forward. That's an excellent start from Kennedy. Got a wicket in it, just the 2 runs. 9 overs gone, and Leinster Lightning in real trouble. 46 for 5.
We're going to spin at both ends now. The captain's bringing himself on, obviously celebrating getting rid of the big wicket of Kevin O'Brien with a fine low catch in the previous over. Andy McBride on. He was inexpensive in the loss to the Munster Reds yesterday. Andy McBride 2 overs, 1 for 21. That's pretty unusual. You see him concede so many runs. As I said before, and I'll say it again, it's a blink it and you miss it bowler. He just gets through his overs so quickly. The Warriors captain.
Worked into the leg side by JJ Garth. Yeah, they'll try and fly through these overs. Northwest Warriors bowling in tandem. Andy McBride and Graham Kennedy. They'll try and fly through. They'll try and just go 2, 3, 4 runs and over for the next 4 or 5.
Well, this is what Lightning need to do now. Wait for the bad ball. But while they're doing that, just keep the scoreboard running over, ticking over. Take them in ones. Build some kind of innings.
Well, you can see that's the intent from these 2 Leinster Lightning batters. They're just going to try and go to run a ball. They won't see too many poor deliveries from these 2 bowlers, so we might not see too many shots in anger for the next few overs. He's lucky he didn't get more of that, Jamie Grassi. There's a man waiting here in front of us to take the catch, Jared Wilson, but didn't travel to him, wasn't hit well enough. A very odd shot from JJ Garth. Not sure that's where he meant to get hit it, but went straight to William Porterfield in mid-wicket.
Out, cotton bowled. It's going from bad to worse. A straight little chip back to a grateful McBride. He took a catch in the previous over to get rid of Kevin O'Brien, and now JJ Garth perishes.
I just tried to work this into the leg side. Wasn't there to do that, so catch goes straight back to McBride. Cotton bowled. JJ Garth goes for 3, and Leinster Lightning lose another one. They're at 50 for 6 after 10 overs.
Well, they're the partnerships, if you can call them that. 13 at the top of the order. The biggest partnership, 20. Grassy and Kevin O'Brien.
New batsman in is Gavin Hoey, leg spinner, but is an all-rounder, certainly at underage level in the team for his leg spin, but is a very accomplished batsman. Graham Kennedy comes back for his second. It's a really difficult situation, this, for Jamie Grassy. Just keeps seeing wickets tumble at the other end and wants to score runs, but knows he can't lose his wicket.
Well, there's still 10 overs to go. Good fielding. Quick throw by Alford. Pressure building on the Leinster Lightning. 50 for 6 in the 11th over. Grassy on 7. Very sorry looking card for Leinster Lightning.
Well, Gavin Hoey can look at this one of two ways. Either he can think, oh, my team are in real trouble and be nervous, or he can see it as a great opportunity to bat for 10 overs. And he almost goes first ball. He cannot afford to go back to Graham Kennedy. Keeps the ball coming in at you, bowls at a good pace, has to try and come forward there, Gavin Hoey. That's better. And pops it into the offside for a single, off the mark.
Good bowling figures from Kennedy so far. 1.4 overs, just 4 runs from it. And he's also got a wicket. And that's gone as well. Grassy lets out a real roar of frustration. And Kennedy gets his man. And this could be a very, very low total indeed.
Played all around that one. Should have looked to go straight back over Kennedy's head, but the bottom hand took over. Jamie Grassy, he's gone for 8, and Leinster Lightning 52 for 7.
Well, those involved in the HBV production here, including yourself and myself, did a sweep to see what the winning score would be. And a lot of us were doing the 140, 150 mark. Nobody expected that they might only be chasing 60 or 70 odd to win the match. That's a heck of a scoreline. 52 for 7 against the Warriors, who are scuttling through the Leinster Lightning batting attack like a knife through butter.
Yeah, it's been a poor batting display. No two ways about it. Rory Andrews comes out to the crease, hits a big ball, the YM all-rounder. Sometimes you see him open the batting in T20 cricket. He's got a big job to do. Nicely flighted bit of turn for Graham Kennedy to close out his second over. 11 overs done. Leinster Lightning 52 for 7.
Andy McBride's going to continue now from the pavilion end. 9 overs to go. And there's former Munster Red himself and Ireland under-19 player, now 23 from YM. And Gavin Hoey at the other end. Son of Conor Hoey, actually, played for Ireland himself. That's nicely tucked off the legs, just a single though.
Yeah, good decision not to come back. Shane Geckgate, good throw in. Yeah, Conor Hoey, Gavin Hoey's dad, still playing cricket for Trinity and still, in my opinion, the best leg spinner around. We won't talk about what age he is, but he's had a fair few summers in those knees. But great control and teaching his son. It's solid defence from Andrews.
Now, these two are just going to have to try and stay there as long as they can, get themselves some kind of foundation, some solidity in their batting, and get that score above the 3 figures to give them something at least to bowl at. And McBride is on the money. Yesterday he was wayward, none for 21 off his 2 overs. And you can see now just a couple of dot balls, couple of singles. Good bowling from the man they call Scrah.
Yeah, I think it was good batting from Matt Ford as well yesterday. Tough for an off spinner to bowl to a top order right hander with the boundaries so short straight.
Yeah, this is a different type of game, isn't it? The Reds were free flowing run scoring yesterday. That ends the 12th. 56 for 7.
It's a good looking bowling card that for the Northwest Warriors. Just Getgate looking a little expensive. He went for 9 in his 1 over. Hume going at 6.5s. He's taken a wicket. 2 for Alford. He's been really impressive. 2 for 5 from 2. Macbeth also in the wickets. Kennedy has 2 and McBride 1. We're going to see Kennedy bowl his 3rd from the Mount Alexander end. Slip is in, so he's going to look to turn it.
That's well bowled. He's in his stride now, Kennedy. Was on a hat-trick ball as well. Taking 2 for 4. And the way things are going, Isabel, you know that the Warriors can apply the pressure, putting the slip in. Andy McBride is there, the Warriors captain. And that's 3 dot balls in a row. This pressure is building all the time on the Lightning.
Oh, this is good versatility from Kennedy. When we saw him bowling to Kevin O'Brien, he was just spearing it in at the pads of the top order batter. Wasn't looking to turn it at all. Bowled at pace, but now he's bowling to the lower order. He's going to show some flight, some bounce, some turn. That one's short though. And Anders misses out. It is a wide, but probably should have gone. Yeah, he's just looking to turn it away from Rory Anders. Has the slip there ready to take the catch. There's the quicker one. Anders just gets his bat down in time.
Hoey has just faced 5 deliveries for his 3 runs. We're in the 13th over. They'll probably just try and work around 1s and 2s if they can for the next couple of overs, and maybe with 5 overs to go, if they're still there, go and start hitting the runs if they can. They've got to stay there now.
Really good finish there from Kennedy. Just takes all the pace off. 2 runs from the over. Miserly from him. 13 overs gone. Leinster Lightning 58 for 7.
So 7 overs remaining in this final match of the domestic season. This provincial T20 final match of this Festival of Cricket. Didn't quite get the festival we were hoping for with the rain on Friday and Saturday morning, but at least we got a couple of games in, one yesterday. And big appeal about
Big hitter of a cricket ball. So sometimes when you get out just nerdling as a big hitter, you think I should have just had a go. So Josh Little.
I'm thinking you should have had a go as you're walking back
Yeah,
to
it's
the
always
hutch.
the way.
It's
always
not
the
much
way.
consolation, is it really? It's a very sorry scorecard. Only Kevin O'Brien has made double figures. The rest Tector 6, Lawson 6, Ducks for Dockrell and Tucker, 8 for Jamie Grassi, 3 for Garth and Rory Anders. We did not expect this.
No, we certainly did not. Josh Little, what can he do? He usually, I think, blocks or leaves the first few and then has a big swing. So we'll see. Does he continue on that form? Such an energetic character. You can see it even in the way that he's calling those no's.
Josh Little made his T20 international debut against Hong Kong on 5th of September in 2016. He was 16 years of old at the time, making his debut, making him the second youngest to have played at that level. They're very much part of the Irish international setup.
Deft touch around the corner, but doesn't get enough of it. Good fielding there from Graham Hume. So off the mark for Little.
And again, another miserly over from the Warriors captain. A wicket, just a single in his 5 deliveries so far. Into his stride, into his bowling very, very quickly. And that ropes up the 14th over. Another good one for the Warriors. They've got a wicket in that one. 14 down, 59 for 8 now, Leinster. Update from the Irish Under-19 match against the Netherlands. 180 needed for victory in the opening match of the World Cup Under-19 qualifier in Almere. Ireland are currently 125 for 7 in the 39th over. And the captain's leading by example there. Tim Tector is 36 not out. And Jamie Forbes is with him, yet to score. So they require 4.6 runs and over, but they've only got 3 wickets left.
Graham Kennedy bowling his 4th over. Just 6 runs from his 3 overs so far and 2 wickets. Excellent return for the left arm off spinner. It's all happening there.
Yeah.
Josh Little looking to reverse sweep, and then he was out of his ground, but Stephen Doheney couldn't collect.
Now what happened here? Played across the line, tried the reverse, and Doheney tried the stumping outside his ground, as he said, but he couldn't collect. So he's lucky to survive that one. And again he goes for the reverse, but there's a man there and it's gone straight to him. Couldn't pierce the field. Easy for Ryan Macbeth.
Yeah, strange shot when there's a slip, a backward point and a man in the deep on the offside. Little bit of flight and uppish from Gavin Howie. Almost a second catch and extra cover for McBride.
Yeah, the trap's there. That's well
huge.
hit. Well hit.
First shot in anger really from Gavin Howie. Beautifully timed and lifted for his first 6 and really welcome runs for Leinster Lightning.
To say the least. Second maximum. Came across his stumps and whipped it across mid-wicket. And poor old Phil Thompson has to make his way back onto the field again with another white ball. That's gone down the road.
He's had to do a bit of walking this weekend, Phil Thompson. They've marched around this ground for the first day and a half, trying to see could they possibly get any cricket in. He's had to walk out a number of times with new balls. They might run out. It looks like that box is pretty full. We should be okay.
They have to get a similar type ball that the one that's actually in play, so that can be difficult to pick out, can't it? But they do have these, they're all used balls to hopefully make sure that the ball that they're replacing is in pretty much the same condition, don't they?
Yeah, they do. It's always the batting team wants a newer ball, the bowling team wants the older ball. And definitely shouldn't be going on the back foot there. Gavin Hoey speared into leg stump, but hits it into the leg side. Ends 4 overs for Kennedy. He's been really good. 8 runs from that over, 15 overs gone. Leinster Lightning 67 for 8.
Yeah, very good figures from Kennedy. Hit for 6 in that last over. But 4 overs. 2 for 14. Very good spell from Kennedy. And he got rid of the big wicket in Kevin O'Brien and also Jamie Grassi. And Andy McBride has just been as miserly at the other end. 3 overs, 2 for 9. So 5 overs to go, but just 2 wickets left now for the Leinster Lightning. So they're in a difficult position here. Do they go for it? Or they just try and keep the wickets intact and score as many runs as they possibly can in 1s and 2s?
Well, they can't swing from the hip. They have to be clear in their plans, what their boundary options are. If it's not there, then don't force the issue. For example, Josh Little there dancing down. McBride was alive to it, so pulled his length back, and Josh Little made sure he didn't go through and lose his wicket. That one's big. That's coming towards us.
You can hear that clatter behind us. It went straight over the commentator's box head there. Oh, that's a beautiful shot.
A baseball swing here from Josh Little. Down on one knee, lifts it over our heads. I thought I was in the game for a minute there, John, but didn't have to move in the end.
That little green tent's our one. We've seen a few balls come in this direction, even when the teams were warming up as well. One came flying in through the commentary box tent. That's good batting from Little. Gets the 6 and then follows it up with a single. Takes the score to 75, and very precious run these. If they can get into 3 figures, maybe up to 120, if they can get something close to that. That's a long way off, with only 2 wickets in hand.
Well, 25 deliveries left, so if they go to run a ball from now on, they do get up to that 3 figures. They'll probably be looking to push a little bit above that. Clipped away. Good fielding from Graham Hume. Just the one to finish the over.
Yeah, 16 down now. 76 for 8.
There's the partnerships, not much to write home about. Jamie Grassi and Kevin O'Brien never really got going either, but they're the best partnership. Josh Little and Gavin Hoey catching up. If they can stay together for the remainder of the innings, they might give their team something to bowl at. So Graham Hume comes back into the attack. 1 for 13 from his 2 so far. McBride and Kennedy bowled out. The 2 spinners really impressing.
Ireland have lost another wicket in that run chase from the under-19s. Tim Tector, the big wicket, gone for 37. 130 for 8 now. Chasing 180 to win. They have plenty of overs in hand. 10 overs to go, but only 2 wickets left. That'll be a very disappointing start if they go down to the Dutch in the opening match. It's on a knife edge, that one.
Short ball to start for Hume. Good work from Gavin Hoey. He just played that right at his feet, and Josh Little comes down to take the strike.
One or two changes in the field. Nicely placed by Little. Running way down the order at number 10, but he looks a competent batsman out there. He's batted well since he's arrived at the crease. Josh Little kept the scoreboard ticking over. He hit one big six as well.
It's not the worst batter, but it's very hard to focus on batting and bowling at the same time for a young cricketer like both of these two. Bowling is their first skill.
There's going to be times in your career, and you know it yourself, when you're going to be called to bat, and it could be down the order. And in this particular case, they've added 21 runs, this pair. Howie coming in at number 8 and Little at number 10. So you have to put those kind of things at the back of your mind and concentrate on your batting. And Little has shown some good purpose in his 11 deliveries faced so far for those 10 runs. Got to see out the overs here. It'd be criminal not to see them out from Leinster's point of view, whatever score they get. Got to see out the overs. Yes, no, yes, no. Ooh! Well, if that had hit, he might have been in trouble.
He didn't know where the ball was there, Josh Little. It's a really good ball from Hume. Really full in at the legs. And he actually just kicks it to the bowler by accident. But I don't think he actually could get the ball to the stumps. Little was between him and them, so all happening, and actually no run in the end. Misses out. That was there to hit. And just here from our position, Josh Little gasping in frustration.
That was more of a bellow than a gasp, actually, at that particular occasion.
The field's not set for that delivery. Everyone up on the offside bar third man.
Very pleasant weather conditions now. It certainly has warmed up considerably in the last 20 minutes or so. Some nice evening sunshine for this title decider. That's well bowled. Thank you. Right up in the block hole. Nothing he could do about that except just play it back to the bowler to end that over. 17 down. 79 for 8.
Timely bowling change there from Andy McBride. His two spinners were bowled out, and it looked like Howie and Little just starting to get the pace of the spinners, and all of a sudden it's back to same. Hume from one end and Alfred from the other, so it'll just take them a few deliveries to get their heads around what their new plans will be.
Yeah, Spinach is very good damage to the Leinster Lightning lineup there. Graham Kennedy 4 overs 2 for 14, and McBride 4 overs 2 for 18. Tore to the heart of the Leinster Lightning batting lineup. Howie and Little are the only two other batsmen outside of Kevin O'Brien to reach double figures. That tells you the sorry tale of woe from the Leinster Lightning's point of view. 3 overs to go then. 79 for 8. Conor Alford.
That's an excellent delivery. He's bowled really well this weekend, Conor Alford. When he first blasted onto the scene, he was a little bit wayward, but now he looks like he's got much more control. And Gavin Howie just hanging back a little bit there.
Alford, 24 years of age now, from Breedy in Derry. Into his third over. He's taken 2 for 5 so far. That's another dot ball. It's a wild swing from Howie.
I don't mind that from Howie now. I think this is the time he needs to try and put the foot in the accelerator. Probably just needs to come at the ball a little bit more. He just went 2 leg side.
Yeah, stepping away from it rather than getting into it. It was well bowled too, well just over the top of the stumps.
Well, that swing has changed the field. They're going to send mid on back to long on. That's excellent bowling. 3 dots now from Alfred.
The problem with that last shot as well is that Howie wasn't even looking at the ball. He was just trying to hike it. Hopefully he was getting something on it.
He was in the mode of trying to hit it while also trying to get out of the way of it, which you can't blame him for. number 9 batsman.
Now 3 dot balls in a row as well. This is brilliant from Alford. Finally they break it. They want a single. I won't come back for the second there because it's good fielding from Getgate. Keeps him to a single.
Well, I think we can expect to see Josh Little try and launch Alford now. Be difficult. He does like the ball up to him, Josh Little. I don't think that they'll bowl it full to him. His favourite area is down the ground. He does go down the ground but catches it high in the bat, so they're going to come back with this for the second, and it's a wild throw from Jared Wilson. Throws from the knees, and actually Doheny did well to come across and make sure that there were no extra runs.
Yeah, even though it was a wide throw, Wilson did get rid of it very, very quickly as well, so that prevented the third run. Yeah, smart thinking from Doheny there. He saw that ball going wide. That's in the air, and that should be 4. Yeah, 1 bounce. Nicely cracked away into the leg side by Hoey.
Yeah, this is good technique from Josh Little. Just have a look before the bowler bowls. He's going to go deep in his crease, gets his front foot clear and hits wide of long on to close out that Alford over with a valuable 4. "18 overs gone. Leinster Lightning 86 for 8.
That's the Leinster Lightning card, such as it is. Cavan O'Brien 23. The rest not making double figures outside of this pair, and they came together. And the score was not very good from the Leinster Lightning's point of view. They were 58 for 8. They moved it to 86 now for 8, with 2 overs to go. So a little bit of a recovery here. And Josh Little's hit some fine boundaries in his 16 off 16 deliveries. So 2 overs to go then. And these two looking to push the Leinster Lightning past that 3 figures. 14 shy of the 100. 2 overs to go.
Gavin Hoey digs that one out for a single. Really good execution from Graham Hume, right up in the block hole.
Full toss. Little might look for a second here. Now, good fielding.
Missed out, full toss. I don't think he was expecting it. Josh Little didn't really catch hold of it at all. And actually, I think they probably should have tried to come back for the second. Didn't run that one very well.
That's in the air. Will they catch that? They will not. That's gone straight over Ross Allen's head. That's a big 6. Square of the wicket. And boy, did they need that. Good shot from Hoey.
This is excellent from Hoey. Just goes a little bit deeper in his crease and gets his hands through. Really good wrists. Gives it that extra elevation and power to take it over the fielder's head in deep cover.
Good cameo from these two now. They'll be giving their side just a little inkling of hope. Something that their bowlers can bowl to. It's not a big total by any stretch. 95 with 8 deliveries to go. But it looked a lot worse at 58 for 8. It's now 95 for 8. Little 17, Hoey on 23. It's a good little cameo between these two towards the end of the innings. 9 from this over so far.
Good running from Gavin Hoey. Excellent stuff from him. There's a race between him and Hume, who would get down to the striker's end first. Good ball from Hume as well. Right up in the block hole again for Josh Little. He hasn't really missed that length, apart from that 6 that Gavin Howie hit. It wasn't really the length on that occasion, it was more the line.
Change in the field now. They're bringing up Ryan Macbeth into the circle. Short third man. Oh, and that's a mistake. That's a poor mistake by Getgate, and they're going to run through for the second. Just ambling towards the ball. Took his eye off it, popped over his hand, and they get an extra run, but they shouldn't have.
Yeah, clipped into the leg side here from Howie. I think it just takes a little bit of a tittle when it reaches Getgate. There's no other word for it, John. So he did get something on it, just the one extra run. So 12 runs from that over, the penultimate, and Leinster Lightning now approaching the 3 figures. They're 98 for 8.
Graham Hume's spell comes to an end. 4 overs, 1 for 28. Expensive in that last over. So Conor Alford to continue and wrap up the 20th and final over. Very good numbers for him so far. For 2 for 12 from his 3. Anything now in this last over will be a bonus for the Lightning. Get themselves over the 3 figures.
And we're going to see him continue to just bowl that length right up in the block hole. Bowl on the stumps. Both these two have their eye in now, so if he misses his length, you could see it disappearing. And he does miss that length, and he does see it disappear over Long On's head. Another maximum for Gavin Howie. He's playing a little gem.
Isn't he just? That takes the Lightning to 3 figures in a very emphatic way. Wham! Big 6 over the tented area. And he moves to 31 from just 25 deliveries. And this is a very good partnership from this pair, with still 4 balls to go.
I'm not sure why Conor Alford has moved away from what he was bowling at Howie. He was bowling short, now he's bowling into his arc. That one's swatted into the leg side. They'll come back for 2.
Well, it's going to go for 4.
Fact, it's
oh,
4.
That's a great piece of fielding from Graham Kennedy. I thought that was all the way 4, goalkeeper style. Great stop on the boundary. Are they going to give that the 4, are they? Because did he touch the ropes when his hand on the ball? No, it's down officially as 2. Great fielding, and it's in his direction again. Oh, between the two of them, they messed it up.
Confusion. That's
just a company of errors. Ross Adam was saying, my ball, my ball, my ball. Then he let it go, and it ran through Kennedy as well. And that's a gimme. That's poor fielding.
Well, I think it should have been Kennedy's all day.
He did call it. And these are valuable runs to be giving away at the end of the innings. And finally he gets his man. Bowled. Gavin Howie goes for 37 very precious runs, and Nelson strikes again.
Yeah, gives himself room here, Gavin Howie. That's a good delivery. Goes back to top of off and gets his man Alford. That's a really good knock though from Gavin Howie. He's made 37. And Lightning with 1 ball to go in the innings, 111 for 9.
Brings in David O'Halloran to face the last ball. In fact, he's the One man they didn't really want. They wanted Little, obviously, to be facing this last ball. 111 for 9, 19.5 overs. Josh Little on 19. O'Halloran will just face the one ball, but I can tell you, Little will take off from the far end as soon as the ball leaves the hand of Conor Alford. Might as well just sacrifice the wicket, try and sneak an extra run. Done well to get to this point from being 58 for 8 to be 111 for 9. Good knock. 37 from 28 from Gavin Hoey. And Little's done well too. 19 from 10. So, last ball of the innings. Off goes Little. They might come in for the second one. Little's turning quickly. Yeah, they will get. That's good running. That's good stuff from O'Halloran. Just laid bat on ball. Knew that the fielders were scattered and had to come moving towards the ball. So that's bonus 2 at the end of the innings. And now Leinster Lightning will feel that perhaps they've got something to bowl with. It's not a big score, but at least they didn't capitulate in the end. They saw at the 20 overs as well, which is so important. 113 for 9. The Warriors need 114 for not just victory, but to claim the IP20 title.
Well, a bit of a recovery there for the Leinster Lightning. Bright spot, Gavin Hoey, 37 from 28. He had 3 maximums in that innings. So important in terms of Leinster Lightning's innings. He was helped along by Josh Little. He scored 19, and the rest of it, apart from right up the top there, 21 for Kevin O'Brien, is a bit of a tale of woe for Leinster Lightning. And they have it all to do in the second innings. Great partnership at the end there. Gavin Hoey and Josh Little, 53. Kevin O'Brien and Jamie Grassi tried to rebuild. They made 20 together, but the wickets kept tumbling.
And here's the bowling figures. Alford 3 for 27. Took 2 in the 1 over as well. It was on a hat-trick ball. Hume expensive in his last over. That's a couple of wickets each as well for the spinners, and Kennedy and McBride. Miserly figures, 2 4 overs, 2 for 14 for Kennedy and 2 for 18 for the captain. And Macbeth, the other one to take a wicket, 3 overs, 1 for 15. So, having won the toss and decided to put the Leinster Lightning into bat, the Northwest Warriors will be very happy with the way things have gone for them. Although now they have to bat with a lot of pressure on them because they know they have to win. With a victory, they'll win not just this match, as I said, but also the trophy for the first time since 2014. When we return shortly, it'll be the Northwest Warriors who will be batting, chasing 114 for victory. We'll be back with you here in Comber in a few moments' time.
farming you would go over from my
Welcome back to the Green and Comber, and this is the Northwest Warriors reply, looking for 114 for victory to win this game and the IP20 series. It's looking a little grey overhead now. There's a few threatening clouds, so hopefully we'll get through these 20 overs without any more interruptions. We were looking, if you think this is an easy target to reach, well, there's a good comparison in match 11 in the series in Breedy in June between the Lightning and the Warriors. Leinster Lightning didn't bat that well, made 127 for 8 off their 20 overs, but the Warriors didn't reach the target. They made 111 for 9. So this is not done and dusted yet. A couple of early wickets here, Isabel Joyce, and the game could change quite dramatically.
A lot rests on these first 5 or 6 overs for Leinster Lightning and the Northwest Warriors. If they can jag a few wickets, then the nerves will start to come in for the Warriors. They've only won this competition once. It was way back in 2014. And winning is a habit. Leinster Lightning have done a lot of it. And got Josh Little with ball in hand. He closed out the Leinster Lightning innings, batted well, and sometimes as a bowler, when you take that momentum into the second innings, you can start off well. He's going to be coming up against William Porterfield and Stephen Doheney. There's a slip there. Little will be taking it away from the left-handed Porterfield. So George Dockrell has put himself into slip. And they'll be on the attack, Leinster Lightning. They know they need wickets.
So the two batsmen in, Stephen Doheney and the opener William Porterfield, the Irish opener as well. 36 years of age, worked his way back into the Irish international side. The vice captain, along with Captain Andy McBride. But here comes the Leinster Lightning bowling, and the Warriors reply. Target is 114 for victory here in Comber. This is going to be a tense affair. There's a lot on the line here, not just this match, but the series itself.
This kind of target will suit William Porterfield. It's the kind of innings that you need a bit of experience. Don't need to panic. He's more of a 50-over batsman. Has the opening spot back in that form of the game, yet to break back into the T20 squad. And he gets off the mark. That one into the mid-wicket area. David O'Halloran doing the fielding. And Stephen Doheney will get his first chance to make an impact with the bat. A nervous looking coach to our left, John. It will mean a lot to Gary Wilson to get a trophy this year. He's seen a big change in the Warriors since he's taken over.
Both of these batsmen got a start in the loss to the Reds yesterday. Porterfield made 14, Doheney made 27.
Bit of luck for Stephen Doheney. He's off the mark with a boundary straight away, but it was not a confident looking shot.
Just got the bat down in time. Now take it.
That's the thing with this kind of total. A few boundaries and it starts looking very easy, regardless of where the boundaries come from.
Little trying to extract perhaps a little bit of swing with the cloud cover overhead.
Good to see Leinster Lightning there up and about. Good bit of chat from George Dockrell and slip. Just worry a little bit about Stephen Doheney's bat path here. His hands getting away from his body. Very dangerous to do that against a left arm bowler who's bringing the ball back into you. Just leaves a bit of a gap between bat and pad. If Little can get the ball moving in, as he suggested he might be trying to, then Doheney could be in trouble.
George Dockrell at first slip.
Good pace from Josh Little.
He is generating a lot of speed, isn't he, Josh Little? Flew through the wicketkeeper. That was close. Dot ball to end that. Opening over from Josh Little. 5 from it. 5 without loss. Chasing 114 for victory.
Really good start. Had the left arm quick. Only thing it was missing really was a wicket. We're going to see Rory Anders take the ball from the other end, the pavilion end. Quick bowler from YMCA. And just a few interesting hairstyles going around the Leinster Lightning team.
Yeah.
Rory Anders, one of them. Long hair and a bit of a hairband on it and a top knot. So he's got it all going on.
Well, a bit of a mullet there going on too. Suddenly back in fashion again. They were embarrassing back in the 1980s. Who told them they were back in fashion again? Anyway, if I had hair, I'd do the same.
You would not. I don't believe that for a second, John.
Tied up in a ponytail if I had it. Second over then. Porterfield shows intent. And that's good running as well. So the single was there.
A little bit slow off the surface there from Anders. Not the usual pace we'd see from him. Porterfield kind of had to wait for that one to come and just flap at it down the ground. But the other hairstyle going around, Jamie Grassi, managed to cut it off. He's got the full-on ponytail, kind of half bun going on.
Not great news from Almira. Ireland have lost to the Netherlands in the Under-19 World Cup qualifier. Netherlands made 179 for 8. Ireland bowled out for 146.
Steep bounce from Anders, and Lorcan Tucker standing up to the stumps. A difficult thing to do against a tall, medium fast bowler like Anders. Just bowl from a height, gets over his front leg well, so Lorcan Tucker did well to stop that one.
So defeat for Ireland in that European World Cup qualifier. As a dot ball. Ireland, Scotland, Netherlands jersey competing for one World Cup spot. And they lost to the Netherlands today, and that's a very poor start. Winner goes directly through to the World Cup in 2022. Tim Tector, the captain today. Ireland losing to Netherlands. Tomorrow's a rest day. They face Jersey on the 22nd of September. And then Scotland on the 23rd. There's a rest day before the final, first and second place, but not a good start losing to the Netherlands, with matches against Jersey and Scotland to come.
Yeah, really disappointing. It's difficult when there's only one spot on offer. One mistake and you're out. It's been a good over so far from Rory Anders. And Stephen Doheney
5 wides.
looks to lift it over the wicketkeeper's head. Lorcan Tucker did not move. And that's 5 wides.
That's really comedic, all right. How wide was that? That Tucker never even saw the ball because the batter was standing right in front of him.
I'm not sure that's a wide, to be honest.
Yeah, he's so far across his stumps.
He was very close to it, yeah. Flash through the offside. And they're going to come back for a second. Good running from Stephen Doheney. Really good.
Just a little misfield. Allowed them to run through for the second. That's good stuff from Doheney. Ran the first one fast. Saw the opportunity and took it. That's 7 runs now from the last 2 deliveries. And Warriors will be happy with that.
He has to bowl an extra ball because of that wide that was given by umpire Roddy Black. Any runs scored on this ball are bonus runs for Northwest Warriors.
Now there's the bonus. Ooh, just short of the ropes by about 2 feet, I'd say. Lovely crack sound of the bat from Doheny. And that's gone for the maximum. Or for 4, I should say. 1 bounce before it bounced over the ropes. End of the over, 2 down. Brilliant start from the Warriors, 17 without loss.
Those kinds of little mistakes are the things that the Lightning can't afford. 5 wides, so costly. Not only the 5 wides, but the 4 from the extra ball. So that one mistake cost 9 runs, and that's massive when you're defending 113.
Yeah, it was spot on there, Isabel Joyce. It was a bonus ball, that last ball. Extra ball in the over. Wide's going for 5. So technically 1 ball cost 11 runs. So that's huge, as you say, in the context of a small total. Looked a little high.
Certainly looked a little bit leg-sided. He didn't really appeal there. Josh Little, I think he was trying to appeal to stop the batsman from running. I can't really see from our angle here. We're behind the batter, much like the camera that we're looking at there.
Yeah, do we need to slow that one down? But just from initial look, I thought it was a little high. It's just maybe a little down leg side as well. And the appeal would have just given them a dot ball.
Hitting the bat very hard here, Josh Little. Marked difference between the pace he's bowling and the pace of Rory Anders. That's an easy single off the pads again. Porterfield would be annoyed that he didn't make contact with that, but they scamper through for a leg bite.
Yeah, earlier on today, Warriors won the toss, decided to put Leinster Lightning into bat. George Docker admitted that he would have done the same had he won the toss. Northwest Warriors unchanged from the side that lost to the Munster Reds. So no Robbie Miller or Trent McKeegan in their starting 11. Leinster Lightning, first game of the weekend for them after 2 postponements. Left out Tom Staunton, Mikey O'Reilly and Simi Singh.
Yeah, I'm surprised that they didn't bring in another bowler. Leinster Lightning, Tom Stanton has been outstanding, captain of Marion, and Mikey O'Reilly won the O'Grady Cup for best bowling in 2020, the left armour from YMCA. Just looking along the Leinster lineup, and we're likely to see the leg spin of Gavin Hoey, George Dockrell himself bowls left arm spin, David O'Halloran medium pace seamer, and JJ Garth bowls leg spin, but they may rue a lack of another bowler. This time he gets hold of one, but Gavin Hoey fields well in the deep. Really excellent from him.
Third meeting of the sides this year in this festival of T20 cricket to end that over. 20 without loss. In fact, there's one to come. My apologies, 20 without loss. Yes, third meeting of the sides is 1 match apiece. First match was in Pembroke, where Leinster Lightning made 182 for 7, and the Warriors did brilliantly to chase that down in 19.5 overs. A thriller there for the loss of 9 wickets. And that's the end of the over, and it is 20 without loss. Now 3 overs down, 20 without loss. That's the 2 bowlers used so far.
We're going to see a change of bowling. Leg spin. Gavin Hoey being brought into the attack, and this is a good move, I think. Only time will tell, but he's batted well, and now he's got ball in hand. Gavin Hoey taking up leg spin of late. He used to bowl seam, but he has one of the best teachers going around, his dad, Conor Hoey, and has a mean googly, so he'll probably bring that out against the left-handed Porterfield.
Spinners have done well in this match. Graham Kennedy, 4 overs to 14 for the Warriors, and the Leinster Lightning were at bat, and Andy McBride, 4 overs, 2 for 18. Sunshine bursting through the clouds. That's great. We're a little worried that the clouds above us would deposit their contents here at North Down Cricket Club. I just want to say thanks to all concerned here for their hospitality, and pity about the weather. We didn't get all 6 matches in. It's not the ground staff's fault by any stretch of the imagination. It was a very wet outfield, a lot of rain deposited here on Friday. Hence we lost the first 3 games, and then we had a reduced overs match this morning where the Knights beat the Warriors in a 10 overs a side game. But it's probably right and fitting that we actually get to this point in the series. It's a winner-take-all match between these two. The Leinster Lightning, the defending champions, 6-time champions against the 1-time champions, but haven't won since 2014, as Isabel Joyce has been alluding to. The Warriors, and the Warriors are in the box seat at the moment, chasing just 114 for victory. And no real problems so far for these 2 opening batsmen.
They're not far off where the Lightning were after 3 overs. They were 18 for 1. It was what happened in the next few overs that caused the problems for Leinster Lightning. So if the Northwest Warriors can avoid a collapse like them, they should canter home. Short, but straight to the fielder in the deep. Really good fielding from JJ Garth there. This Porterfield couldn't have picked him out better. Did well to keep it down, William Porterfield, so no chance for Garth to take a catch. That one's through. Jack Tector gives chase, does well in the deep, but they're going to look to come back for a third. And they do. Good running from Doheny and Porterfield.
A good feeling from Tector. They could prevent them running through for the 3rd run. And they're pretty tall. Lawson Cypress 3 is away to our left-hand side where Tector is doing the fielding. So they've shielded that area of the ground from the sun all day, so it'll be slippy down there.
Yeah, the problem as well is no one went with him. He
had to do it on his own.
Yeah, he saved it and then had to jump up, pick up and throw the ball in. Usually you want someone coming with you so that they can do the picking up and throwing in. Probably would have only been 2 had someone gone with him. Single from the final ball of that, the 4th over. 7 runs from it. 4 overs gone. Northwest Warriors 27 without loss.
This is the way the table stands at the moment. The Knights earlier on today, bonus point victory for them against the Munster Reds, but it all counts for nothing because it's the winner of this game will take the title. Warriors 2 points ahead of Leinster Lightning, and they're in a very good position here. Climax to the Interprovincial Trophy IP20 2021. 114 needed for victory and 27 without loss at the end of 4 overs. The Warriors are in a very, very strong position here.
David O'Halloran now will take over from Josh Little from the Mount Alexander end. Very tall bowler. Doesn't bowl at any great pace, but gets a lot of bounce bowling from the height that he does. Gets the seam to stand up, so if there's anything in the pitch, he'll get it out of it. Just threw the shot a bit too early there. William Porterfield held in the pitch a little bit.
Yeah. Ball arrived after he'd swung. And he just kicks it away soccer style from the inrushing O'Halloran. Just a little pause in his action, isn't it, as he comes through around the wicket there before he actually delivers.
Yeah, he loads up on the back leg, and he does bowl a heavy ball, bowls it into the pitch, but no real great pace. And actually I think that's where his skill lies, because there's not that pace on the ball. Porterfield came down, hit that quite well, but lack of pace means it was just a single.
Well, our other crew are in the Grange today. HBV Studios bringing coverage of Scotland against Zimbabwe in the third T20 International in Edinburgh, in the Grange. And it's 1-1 in that series. If you want to tweet the Cricket Scotland Twitter handle, you can see that game. But Scotland made 177 for 4 from their 20 overs. Zimbabwe are struggling in reply. They're 128 for 3, but they need 50 runs from 23 balls. And Scotland looking for a series win there, which would be huge for Scotland. Zimbabwe not going to the World Cup, T20 World Cup that is. They lost 3-2 to Ireland, and now heading for another series defeat.
Well, Halloran's been really good since coming on. 3 dots so far, just the 1 run from his 4 balls. Good tight field as well by Leinster Lightning. We might see them continue to have fielders inside the ring once the power play ends. Everyone up on the offside. Fine leg and square leg out in the boundary. Swatted but over George Dockrell in extra cover. Good chase from Gavin Howe. He'll keep it to just 2.
Yeah, but the runs are coming freely now. They know they can just bide their time, this pair. Oh, he does the chasing. So he has good feeling, all right, but they get through for the 2 runs. That should be out, and is out. That's a much needed wicket. Doheny perishes for 17. Straight down Josh Little's throat, and O'Halloran gets his man, and the Lightning's first wicket gone. Score at 30.
Easy chance that for Josh Little. Did well, just stayed still, made sure of it. As Doheny gone for 17. Northwest Warriors 30 for 1.
Andy McBrien, the Warriors captain, makes his way out to the middle. Disappointed with the bat yesterday against the Munster Reds.
Yeah, didn't trouble the score yesterday. Andy McBrien, not from 3 deliveries. LBW to Josh Manley. You won't let that get to him too much though. Andy McBrien doesn't seem like someone who stresses too much about these things.
Well, there you can see the comparison is about 24 for 3. This is where they started to crumble, the Leinster Lightning, after getting a decent enough start. Started to crumble, wickets started to fall. So they're in a better position. They're 6 runs ahead as well, and 2 wickets in hand in comparison total. So 5 down. McBrien comes in a position that there's not a lot of pressure out there. He can take his time.
Yeah, they need an over like that one from Conor Alford. He took 2 wickets in the 5th over. changed the complexion of the game. The wickets kept tumbling after that. And it's going to be Rory Anders returning from the pavilion end. They've opted to take the leg spinner Eddie the attack now that there are two left-handers at the crease. That's a much better start from Anders. Looks a little bit more comfortable now. Just was floating it a little bit in the first over. Another dot ball. These dots just keep building for Northwest Warriors. They can't afford to just take 2 and 3 and over. There is plenty of batting to come, but no doubt these two will want to do the job for the Warriors. Slower ball, well bowled from Rory Anders, and William Porterfield's eyes just lit up.
Slower delivery, wasn't it? Fooled the batsman completely.
Have a look at this. It's just kept going away from William Porterfield. He's lucky that one wasn't on the stumps. He's caught hold of that one though, and that one's going to go all the way. 6 runs for William Porterfield, 2 straight there from Rory Anders. 2 straight this time into the pads of Porterfield, and he helps that on its way.
Yeah, we're getting weather conditions like yesterday as well. This time of the day yesterday was a beautiful evening, and it's turned out to another beautiful evening here, and that ball is in the air. Cries of catch. It's going to fall though between the two running fielders, and having hit the previous ball for 6, slightly fortuitous on that occasion, William Porterfield.
That's a pretty safe shot this from William Porterfield. Everyone on the offside is up. He's looking to take the game on. If they can put another 20 or 30 runs on the next 2 or 3 overs, then it will really put the end to the Leinster Lightning's hopes. Really call it 2, but I think that one's going to go all the way. It is another boundary for William Porterfield, and very valuable runs. 3 dots to start out the over. It's been 12 for the second 3. Good placement from Porterfield, and that's the end of the power play. Northwest Warriors 42 for 1.
That's the batting card for the Northwest Warriors. Nice and easy so far from them. Just the 1 wicket to fall, and the score on 30. Doheny out for a brisk 17. Porterfield took a liking to Rory Anders in that last over. Andy McBride, he had to face a ball. Will do now for the first time. And O'Halloran will continue then from the far end, the Mount Alexander end as they call it here. Comber cricket ground bathed in sunshine, fitting end to this series. And McBride immediately off the mark, up on his toe, just eases one round the corner.
I think he'll play that role, won't he, Andy McBride? Just the anchor role. William Porterfield looks like he's going to try and take the game on. Going to try and score some more boundaries for the Northwest Warriors. We've got long on, deep square leg, fine leg, third man and cover. But that one's gone through between extra cover and mid-off. A beautiful shot from William Porterfield, one of real class. And the runs are coming thick and fast now.
just didn't score enough runs, and Warriors just needed to get off to a good start, and they've done that. Early wickets was crucial. And with Porterfield in form, and hitting a 6 in the previous over, and adding a 4 in this one. Moving the score closer to the required target of 114 to win the match and the series.
Really nice change up from O'Halloran there at the back of the hand. Just got that dip as it reached William Porterfield. Went under his bat. Good brave bowling from the youngster from Malahide. And actually that was very, very close to bowling William Porterfield.
That might go for 4 as well, and it does so. Backward a square, and just couldn't cut that off, and another boundary takes the Warriors closer to victory.
Well, it's mostly the line that's the problem here. It is a full toss, but only just too wide, and Porterfield's good enough to get it over point. There's 2 fielders out on the boundary over there, but cover and third man, it went right between them. Excellent batting from the former Ireland captain.
That'll be a wide. Can't afford to bowl it there. You're just giving away runs.
Well, this is where maybe a left arm spinner could have done a good job trying to tie down the Northwest Warriors. They're not going to take on George Dockrell. That's real respect. He's right out on the ring, but not needed. They know that much. So 7 overs gone, and Northwest Warriors 52 for 1. So apologies, there are no graphics on the bottom of your screen right now. Northwest Warriors are chasing 114 for victory. They're currently 52 for 1 after 7 overs, so really in the ascendancy. And it's getting to desperate times for Leinster Lightning. Kevin O'Brien, George Dockrell and Gavin Hoey all coming together to discuss their game plan. They know they need wickets, and they need them now.
Yeah, apologies for our scoring system has gone down temporarily. We're working hard to get that back for you. We'll keep you in touch with the scores. 52 for 1 at the end of 7. Chasing 114 for victory.
In comparison, Leinster Lightning were 40 for 4. At the same time, 4 wicket stain was massive. Gavin Hoey comes back from the pavilion end for his second over, slip in place. He might look for 2, but Andy McBride says no.
Yeah, no real need there. There was probably 2 in a different scenario. A big scramble for chase down runs. There's no point in taking on the bowler, or the fielder I should say, on that particular occasion. Just go through for the single. No panic. 53 for 1 now. We're in the 8th over. 114 needed for victory.
Really good bowling. Gavin Hoey almost pushed that back into the bowler's hands there. William Porterfield. The field has been spread for Porterfield. 2 men out straight. 2 on the leg side and 1 on the off side.
And once again, apologies for our scoring system going down, but it's now 54 for 1 in the 8th over.
Good fielding from Jack Tector there. I think they're probably, if they were chasing a higher total, they'd be running that one, the Northwest Warriors. Excellent bowling from Gavin Hoey. Just spotted Andy McBride dancing down the track and pulled his length back. And bowls at a serious pace for a leg spinner.
Still 54 for 1. Changing the field, Kevin O'Brien has gone to long off.
Edged and down. The chance was there. George Dockrell in slip. It was one of those, it had to go straight to him for him to catch it, but that was the chance they were searching for. Low and to his right, and actually did well to stop that from going to the boundary.
It was a sharp chance, wasn't it? Down low, below the knee. And that wraps up that over. 55 for 1 now after 8. We'll keep continuously update the scores for you because obviously we don't have it at the bottom of your screen. So 55 for 1 at the end of 8 overs. 114 needed for victory.
Well,
and Kevin O'Brien's coming on.
This is something that Kevin O'Brien promised me I would never see again.
He did say that.
I asked him would he ever bowl in any cricket again, and he assured me that he was done with his bowling, but we're going to see the veteran with ball in hand again. I was wondering when I looked along the team sheet, did they have enough bowlers? And this is obviously one of the reasons why they selected the team they did. They are getting Kevin O'Brien to bowl. Absolutely brilliant to see.
It is, yeah. I hope you're enjoying what you're seeing at home despite the lack of the score at the bottom of the screen there. 55 for 1. Kevin O'Brien now coming on to bowl the 9th over. 114 is the total the Leinster Lightning mustered in their innings.
It's a real roll of the dice, isn't it? He does have a way of just making things happen though, Kevin O'Brien.
Oh, he's a wicket taker, all right, no doubt about it, but he hasn't bowled in a long time. Giving up the 50 over game. Concentrate on, he says, T20 and tests. He's not going to get many tests at the moment, but certainly not a T20 cricket to come.
Too short at that pace, and William Porterfield won't miss out. Another boundary for William Porterfield.
I think he's trying to ball that out the back of the hand, Kevin O'Brien.
Yeah, just a bit of a cutter. Bowls a lot of them, but needs to get it slightly fuller.
Thank you and good night, says William Porterfield to his fellow international. Likes that. 60 for 1 now. And you were talking about it earlier on, Isabel. There was plenty of clapping in the field, and looks like the Leinster Lightning were up for it. It's gone very quiet out there.
Yeah, 1 or 2 boundaries are going to do that because the total that they're defending is so low. A little bit more effort into that last delivery from Kevin O'Brien. Really bent the back. 6 so far from this over. Northwest Warriors 61 for 1. Another cutter. And just the one down to Jamie Grassi at fine leg.
Well, we're having some major problems with our scoring system. We can't even tell you what William Porterfield and Andy McBride are on at the moment, but we can tell you the overall cumulative score is 62 for 1. We're in the 9th over. That's in the air. Cries of catch it. It's going to drop short though. Josh Little coming in from the boundary. That would have been a moment, all right, for Kevin O'Brien. There we go. Scoring's back up, thankfully. Porterfield now on 33. Make that 34 for that previous delivery.
One ball to go. 8 runs from this Kevin O'Brien over so far. And a single to finish it, so 9 from it. Slightly costly from Kevin O'Brien. 9 overs gone, and Northwest Warriors are 64 for 1.
That's pretty much all about the shouting now, you would think, unless the Leinster Lightning produce some kind of magic over the remaining overs. 9 overs gone. That's the bowling figure so far.
Well, they need a Ben White type spell, don't they? He bowled earlier, 2 overs, 3 runs, 2 wickets. If they could get someone on who would do that, if Gavin Hoey perhaps, he's bowled 2 good overs, only gone for 10. He's also a leg spinner. If he can get a few wickets and go for no runs, then you just never know. Plenty of batting to come for the Northwest Warriors though. Big hitters, William McClintock, Shane Getgate still to come. Graham Kennedy is also very good with the bat, and Graham Hume was the hero yesterday when he helped them get some kind of total on the board. Wasn't enough for them to win the game, but he certainly saved them from a low total like the one we've seen Leinster Lightning get to today. So Gavin Hoey.
Nicely put away to the leg side by McBride.
The problem for Leinster Lightning is they're trying to defend boundaries but also take wickets, and unfortunately there's no one in on the one on the leg side, so Northwest Warriors can just milk singles in there all day if they want to, and they will.
Well, that's what they're targeting, alright. Anything on the leg side. They have a couple of sweepers on the boundary, as you say. Even a little drop and run to the leg side might yield 2 runs if they just time it right. But they can get there in ones.
It's a good dot from Gavin Hoey. Kevin O'Brien's calling for someone to be brought in from the leg side. He's wants to force Andy McBride to do something for his runs, force him to play a big shot. So Jack Tector comes in to try and save the single on the leg side. And he does do the big shot, and it's launched over long on for 6. Beautifully played by McBride. Just a tiny bit too full from Gavin Hoey, and he's punished.
A lovely shot from McBride. He can bat, there's no doubt about that. He's up the order for the Warriors. He's done it at an international level as well. That's a big 6. And if you're just pushing the ball around for 1s and 2s, and then you get a luxury of a ball like that, you can just thump it over the bowler's head, and that moves your side closer to that victory target of 114, and it's getting ever closer now, and poor old Phil out with yet another ball because they've lost another one.
The good thing for Phil is that box is getting considerably lighter. Plenty of cricket balls being taken from it.
Let's try and see if I can sneak a few balls myself for our team for next season. They're not cheap.
They certainly are not. Gavin Hoey, 8 from the over so far, 2 to come, and that one's launched into the deep as well. 2 short this time, and back-to-back maximums.
He's in a hurry, Andy McBride. Wants to get this done and dusted and get his hands on the trophy. Back-to-back maximums. Drag down. Thank you and good night. $14 from this over so far, and just 1 to come. McBride has quickly moved on to 19 from just 12 deliveries. Porterfield done around on 37. And they get out of that with a dot ball, but they were punished. 78 for 1 at the end of 10 to go. Target 114. Warriors in the box seat.
At this point, Leinster Lightning were 50 for 6 in their innings. That was a big problem. 6 wickets down. Look at that worm now. All those circles you see, and the blue line were the Leinster Lightning batters losing their wickets. And because they haven't lost wickets, Northwest Warriors worm is on a steep curve upwards. 36 from 60 balls required. So Captain George Dockrell brings on his strike bowler, Josh Little, possibly a little bit too late, unfortunately. They really need to try and squeeze for these 2 Josh Little overs. See if he can take some wickets. What he doesn't want is for them to be able to just turn the strike over. And that's exactly what Porterfield does.
Yeah, there's not a lot you can do, is there? You only need 36 from 60 deliveries. Porterfield's too far experienced to know not to do anything stupid out there. This is a good innings from William Porterfield. And McBrien has showed real intent from the other end. That previous over took a real lightning to Hoey. So we could be down the road, Isabel Joyce, a lot quicker than we thought.
A thin edge, and actually didn't reach Lorcan Tucker. So not really a chance. And actually, in fact, it's given as leg byes by Aidan Seaver. 4 leg byes, and this total just seems to be moving inexorably towards 114.
Well, that rolled into our commentary box, so I had to go and do the fielding.
Sanitise that ball.
Oh! I used my feet.
Good comeback from Josh Little. Not much you can do as a bowler other than just focus on the ball at hand. And there's only 31 to defend and 57 balls remaining.
Didn't quite time that, but it's still a single.
This performance perhaps shows how much they need maybe Simi Singh and Andrew Balbirnie and their team, the Leinster Lightning. Plenty of players as well have moved from the Leinster area to other franchises. Matt Ford we saw earlier. And yesterday he used to play for the Leinster Lightning. Now playing for the Munster Reds along with Tyrone Kane.
You don't usually get slow deaths, do you, in T20 games? This one feels like this. Basically where the team chasing down the total are in absolutely no hurry whatsoever and can take the time getting there. Refer to it as a slow death. You don't get many of them in T20 crickets, but if they get over the line, which they surely will now at this stage, it'll be a big mauling for the Leinster Lightning side. He's shorn of internationals like Singh and McCarthy and Balbirnie. It's down the leg side. There's going to be a wide, another to the total, and an extra ball to be bowled.
Yeah, it's difficult to go into a weekend like this without your internationals, but does test out the depth in your squad. Mikey O'Reilly and Tom Stanton missed out today, but Theo Lawson came in off the back of really good batting performances in club cricket and wasn't really able to make an impact. JJ Garth as well. One again goes towards the boundary. There is a fielder here, so just the single from that extra ball in the over. So 11 overs gone, and Northwest Warriors 87 for 1.
Just the 1 wicket to fall. Stephen Doherty gone for 17, but the score was on 30 at that stage, so they've added 57 to the second wicket. 13 extras as well. Doesn't help their cause.
So the skipper brings himself on to bowl from the pavilion end. George Dockrell, left arm spin. Not ideal for a left arm spinner to bowl to two left-handed batters, but there's nothing you can really do about that.
Yeah, made his international debut for Ireland as a 17-year-old back in 2010 in the T20 World Cup in the West Indies. Bamboozled West Indies and England. Very impressive debut for an then 17-year-old, now 29, captain of Leinster. First ball gets the treatment. And Anders, the sparing dive, all he can do is push it beyond the ropes, and 4 runs to McBride, and they're closer to their target with every passing moment.
Yeah, it had the length and it had the line that he needed to dispatch that straight of the mid-wicket fielder.
Just 23 runs needed now to claim the trophy for only their second time in their history. It's in the air. That was very polite applause. All happened in slow motion there. But it's a wicket. And that's the end of McBride.
He just kept going with the arm there. George Dockrell kept moving away from the left-handed McBride, takes the outside edge, and a good catch from David O'Halloran. Plenty of spin on it. And that's the end of McBride. He goes for 24 from just 18 deliveries.
.91 for 2 now. Good knock from Andy McBride. Couple of big lofty blows in that, couple of sixes. 24 for him. Sets up this nice platform to get his side over the line. 23 now just needed for victory. Shane Getgate is the new batsman, the 29-year-old born in Durban. Irish cricketer though, Irish international, and he comes in at number 4. Bit of an anticlimax that actually, really. McBride whacked it high in the air. Good take by O'Halloran, as you say, from the bowling of George Dockrell, and nobody celebrated.
Yeah, hard to celebrate anything this performance for Leinster Lightning. A few bright spots, possibly the innings of Gavin Hoey. 37 from 28 for him. But very unlikely for Leinster Lightning to be able to drag it back from here. 91 now for just 2 wickets. Be interesting to see how Shane Getgate goes about this. Does he continue in the way that McBride was going, looking for boundaries, or does he try and hand the strike over to Porterfield?
It's full toss straight down the ground, and it's Gary Wilson who does the fielding down the boundary just in front of us. Another 4 to the target. Well, that answers your question.
Well, I didn't imagine he'd get a full toss on leg stump first up. It was nearly a chance for George Dockrell, but just wide of him. We've got the field up for Shane Getgate, going to force him to try and take the game on. Dances down, and he does just exactly that. That is massive. Over long on, and that could be 12. It's so big.
That's a way to bring up the 3 figures, isn't it? Huge hit from Getgate. You were wondering how he would go about his at bat. It's one of our cameramen up there in the stand, and even he admires it. And Phil is back out in the middle with yet another white ball. Kevin O'Brien say, "Here, I want one of those." He's not going to get his way though.
He's trying to find the softest ball there is in Phil Thompson's armoury.
Now this is a huge over, isn't it? 14 from this Over from George Dockrell. Just 13 needed now for victory here, and it will take Warriors to their second title in this format of the game. And it's good for the game to see that the trophies can be spread around the provinces. That's the end of the 12th over, 101 for 2. Leinster Lightning have dominated for so long. Munster Reds have shown that they're more than capable with their new inclusion of influx of players this year, and the fact that they've moved to play in the 50 over version of it. They're already part of the T20 series. Northern Knights look strong as well under the tutelage of Harvey Tector. That's the partnership so far. Porterfield Doherty setting a good platform with the opening 30. McBride 24 from 19. Good knock from him. And Getgate has come in and smacked a huge 6 and a 4 from his 4 deliveries faced so far. Porterfield, though, just easing the ball around the ground. Classy performance from the former Irish captain. Porterfield at the top of the order. Now moves to 38.
Yeah, I said this kind of chase would suit him. No real stress in terms of strike rates or run rates. Just good, clever batting. Good, clear plans as well. So he's 38 from 32 now, and he's been the anchor in this Northwest Warriors innings. Getgate on 10 from just 4 deliveries now. Dealing in boundaries, he's hit a 4 and a 6.
There's another 4. And again, that's come into the commentator's box. Getgate on to 14. Fortuitous. No slip in. And it trundles his way to the boundary. 106 for 2 now. Just 8 to win.
You're not safe anywhere. That's nearly hit Dara in the head there as it came off the back of the tent. But yes.
He's got a strong head. He'll be alright.
The headphones save him, he'll be fine. 8 to win. They're going to take on the fielders on the offside. It was in the gap, so it was a good run from Shane Getgate. First single for him.
Even though the Warriors lost yesterday to the Munster Reds, they will actually look back and say, okay, we picked the same team today to play against the Lightning. They might have the advantage of actually playing a game yesterday, even though they lost. This is Leinster Lightning's first game, so it's a disappointing display from them. They'll know that themselves, but the fact they didn't get a game this weekend until the title decider just may have played against them.
Absolutely. Couldn't agree more. I've been sitting and looking at the rain for 2.5 days. It's a tough ask then to come out and play well. We've all played plenty of cricket this summer, of course, but it is difficult when you don't know if you're going to play, and the frustration of, especially when it's not raining, not being able to play your match.
Yeah, standing around on the boundary edges, pawing the ground. Hopefully you get a bit of cricket. If you don't want to play, you're thinking, all right, let's go home. You know, there's a lot of waiting around, and has been a lot of waiting around this weekend. We were supposed to get 6 matches in. We only got in 3. That's not great from Little, but the game's up. He knows it. Straight through his legs.
Yeah, it's poor. Usually bowlers so good off their own bowling, but just didn't collect that one. Seven from the over so far, 1 to come in the 13th. 6 runs to win. And just played down to third man for another single. That finishes out the 13th, and Northwest Warriors 109 for 2. There's the worm. Very differing trajectories to the green one there and the blue one. Gavin Hoy will bowl his final over of the day. George Dockrell opting to take himself off and bring his leg spinner back on. With 5 runs to win, there's not much to be gained for the youngster, but he'll hope to just take another wicket, try and get out of his over.
Five to win then. And this is the 14th over. 109 for 2. Porterfield 39. Getgate brisk and breezy 16 from 7. And that's 4 from the moment it left the bat.
Oh, that's good luck from Shane Getgate. A swipe, and it was head height in the air between mid-on and mid-wicket. That's definitely not where he meant it to go. So the fielders all come in, 1 run to win. All over bar the shouting.
Porterfield fancied it. Few cries from around the boundary saying, "Go! Yes!" No need to get yourself run out at this stage. Just need a single. Beats the outside edge of the bat. Well bowled.
Really nicely bowled. Getgate just backing away a little bit, flirting with the outside edge.
That's a great innings from Getgate. Purposeful right from the off.
He's trying to get it over this infield. Everyone's in on the single, so he just needs to lift it over. Just needs 1 shot, and it's the game and the trophy. That's 2 play-in misses.
There it is. Nice way to finish too. With a maximum. Getgate moves to 26. Warriors win the match by 8 wickets. And congratulations to Andy McBride and the Northwest Warriors, the IP20 champions for 2021.
Deserved winners on the day and throughout the tournament. Good finish from Shane Getgate. He's been excellent since joining William Porterfield. Disappointing performance from the Leinster Lightning. Really good bowling performance from the Northwest Warriors. That's where this game was won, really, in the bowling innings. Leinster Lightning were reeling at 52 for 7. And William Porterfield and Shane Getgate there. I'd be delighted with that win. Shane Getgate making the move to the Northwest, and William Porterfield is a veteran, just guiding his side home. Appreciative claps from his team as they go off, and McBride will be delighted with that. The captain disappointed with their display yesterday and came back and made sure they made no mistake. A dejected looking Leinster Lightning team, they know they weren't at their best today. Our thanks to everyone in North Down Cricket Club up here in Comber for the past 3 days. Doing everything they could to get cricket played on a wet weekend in September. So Northwest Warriors made easy work of that chase. 13 overs, or 14 overs it took to chase down 114. In fact, they made it to 119. William Porterfield, the mainstay, 39 from 34. Good cameos from Doheny, 17, and McBride, who made 24, and then Getgate came in at the end. Real power, 26 from just 12 deliveries. Just the 3 partnerships, heavy scoring from Getgate at the end. Porterfield just 2 in that partnership of 28, but the main one was that one between Porterfield and McBride, 61 after the platform was set by Doheny and Porterfield. There's the bowling cards. Josh Little was the best bowler today for the Leinster Lightning. No wickets for him, just 19 from his 4. Anders was expensive, 24 from his 2 overs. Dockrell as well, 1 wicket, but he went for 14. O'Halloran was impressive, 1 for 13 from 2. So that's a story in itself. Leinster Lightning's batting. Gavin Hoey came in at the end and saved some blushes. Came in at 8, made 37 from 28. Kevin O'Brien up top made 23, but he couldn't stay in for long enough to make a huge impact. Josh Little did well at the end, 19 from 10 balls. And the bowlers from Northwest Warriors were the real impressive part. Conor Alford 3 for 27. And Kennedy, well, he was brilliant along with Andy McBride, 2 wickets each for them. Macbeth 1 for 15 from his 3, and then the Warriors dominated in the second innings as well. Porterfield 39, Getgate 26, wickets for O'Halloran and Dockrell. And with that, it's goodbye from me as well, Joyce, for now. I'll send over to John Kenny. He's got the player of the match and the 2 captains.
Thanks very much, Isabel. Yes, a very comprehensive victory in the end for the Northwest Warrior. Remember, yesterday they had a chance of winning the championship, lost to the Munster Reds, but today, comprehensive victory against the Leinster Lightning. I'm glad to say we've got our presentation party here today. The President of Cricket Ireland, Philip Black, is joining us. Thanks for joining us, Philip. George Dockrell and also Andy McBride. And our player of the match, Conor Alford, 4 overs, 3 for 27. Congratulations.
Thank you very much.
How did you feel about that performance today? Good all-round performance from your team?
Good all-round performance, yeah. Leinster's a really tough side. We bowled well, we really dug deep. We really wanted to win this game. And fair play to the boys. Everybody was super.
What about your own performance? Obviously happy with that?
Yeah, I was happy enough with that. I was just glad to get through it. I was just doing it for the team, you know.
Yeah. Was a bit of anxiousness before this game started? There was a lot on the line here, wasn't there?
Yeah, but you're focused. You just want to win, like. You're not too nervous, you're just thinking about winning.
Yeah. So what was the plan coming out here? It was just try and get us, obviously knock them over as quickly as possible. I don't think you would actually have thought that Leinster Lightning would have folded that quickly.
No, they're a very strong batting lineup, and I was really happy for the lads. We really done well at the start, and here, couldn't have asked for a better start.
Sure, and you took some important wickets yourself. That must have pleased you.
Yeah, it was nice. Like, I was very pleased with the wickets.
Exactly. Well, tremendous. Congratulations for your Player of the Match award. George Dockrell, if you wouldn't mind just stepping in as the losing captain today. Well, obviously, I have to say, not enough runs on the board. You'd admit that yourself, wouldn't you?
Yeah, look, I know the pitch was maybe a tiny bit up and down, but we batted, I think, pretty poorly. But combined with how well they bowled up top, really put us under pressure. And every time I think we showed that little crack or gave them a chance, they took it. So I think credit to them with how they went about it today. And I think the way the cricket they've played as well through this tournament has been great. So deserved winners.
Sure. Problem, I suppose, from your point of view, has been hanging around all weekend to get a game in. They got a game in yesterday. I know they lost to the Munster Reds, but at least they got a game in. You've had to wait till Sunday evening to get a match in as well. That could have mitigated against you too, possibly.
Yeah, sometimes I think, look, every time you come out on the pitch, it's always a different wicket, it's always different day to day, and you always got to probably take your time and get used to it. So myself included, we probably did, failed to adapt quick enough, and maybe even give ourselves that little bit of time to see what the pitch was doing, and before we kind of play the shots we did. So I think, yeah, look, I know that's something we didn't get the same amount of cricket, but I don't think it's anything that we'll really think impacted today.
Sure. Disappointing it wasn't close as well. It was kind of a runaway victory in the end, so that'll be even doubly disappointed from your point of view that they just could cruise to victory. And
obviously we were hoping to have, well, ideally would have been us winning in that fashion. Again, even with 115-20 on the board, we thought if we got 1 or 2 early wickets, we might be able to set in a little bit of panic and put them under a little bit of pressure. But again, credit to how William, Stephen, and Andy came out and batted was pretty impressive there, and put the game to bed pretty soon, and didn't really give us a chance.
Well, you've had 6 victories in this particular trophy, so it's good to hand it over to somebody else now and again, but I know you'll be back next year. All guns blazing, determined to win it back again. Thanks for joining us for the moment, George.
Thank you.
But let's talk to Andy McBride, the winning captain. Congratulations. How's that feeling like?
Yeah, it feels really good. Obviously, after yesterday's performance, we knew we weren't good enough. Obviously, I can't ask for more lads the way they've come out there, the way we've bowled and the way we've batted. Pretty much a good performance I reckon we could have put in today.
Yeah, you admitted in the toss this morning to Isabel Joyce that you were not pleased with the performance all round from all your players yesterday. So there must have been a bit of soul searching before today's game.
Yeah, we had like I said in the toss this morning, we had a good chat yesterday after the game and made our plans very clear coming in today. Obviously, we couldn't ask for a better execution than today.
What does it mean to the province to win this?
Yes, obviously, like, it's great for the province. Obviously, we did struggle the last couple of years. Obviously, since Gary's took over, he's really given us confidence back in. There's probably that wee bit of lift that we need. So
Gary Wilson's first trophy, hurrah!
Yeah, it's 50% record, so he's doing okay. Like,
Absolutely. So, anyway, you gather your team around you. Congratulations and well done to the Northwest Warriors. If you'd like to take the trophy for this season, lads, if you want to come in as well and celebrate with your captain, and we'll say goodbye from Comber in North. Down, if you just want to pop in and take the trophy there and celebrate with your team. Well done. Don't get too carried away, Andy, whatever you do. So that's it from Comber. Hope you've enjoyed our presentations today. Congratulations to the Northwest Warriors, worthy winners, second time they've won the trophy, from Isabel Joyce, from John Kenny and the rest of the team. Till the next time we meet, enjoy your winter. Bye for now.